Hey everyone, thank you so much for stopping by. This will be the last prediction that I do today. And that is UFC 203, Alistair Overeem versus Stipe Miocic. I am very excited for this fight. Honestly, specifically, I am excited for Alistair Overeem. The man has come a long way. From getting signed to the UFC, destroying Brock Lesnar, and then going on a losing spree because he was making some pretty bad decisions in there in the cage, to just switching things around, becoming a way more patient counter striker, and beating some guys that I did not think he would be able to beat. One of them is Junior Dos Santos. That one really stung when Alistair Overeem knocked out JDS. Because I'm a big fan of JDS, and watching him do that really showed me everything I need to know about Alistair Overeem at this point. The man has grown. He has matured mentally. He now understands what his weaknesses are, and it's a very important thing to understand if you're a fighter. Look, I mean, I'm talking like I'm a fighter, but I'm not. I'm just saying, when you're a mixed martial artist and you're fighting in the cage, it's very important to understand your limitations as a fighter. You need to understand what kind of chin you have. You need to understand what kind of conditioning you have. You need to understand how fast you are. You need to understand what your abilities are. And you need to understand what the holes in your game is, and you need to protect that. You need to defend against that as much as you possibly can. And you gotta fight safe. You gotta fight smart. And lately, Alistair Overeem has been doing that. The man realizes that he doesn't have the best chin in the world. He probably thought he did, until he got knocked out a few times, and then he realizes, look, I don't have the best chin in the world. These men in the heavyweight division, they can bang. And if I get hit too much, I get knocked out. And because of that, he has turned things around. Usually, when the fight starts out, he will blow his wad, trying to throw shots and get caught with something. He's not doing that anymore. The man is taking his time now in the cage. He also realizes that he is not the most well-conditioned heavyweight fighter in the entire world. He does gas, he does get tired in fights, and because of that, he has slowed down his output. Every single strike Alistair Overeem throws right now is with a purpose, and I love nothing more. There's nothing that makes me happier than watching a striker that throws every single strike with a purpose, with the purpose of landing. It doesn't matter if it's a small strike, if it's a strike that's not designed to knock you out. As long as you're throwing strikes that are designed to land, I freaking love you. I absolutely love that as someone who is a big fan of striking. That is what Alistair Overeem has turned into right now. And that's why he's able to get this title shot against a very, very dangerous man in Stipe Miocic. Now, Stipe has some power. He really does. Do I think he has more power than Alistair Overeem? I really don't think so. But what I do know is that he's a very smart man. The way he fights tells you he's very, very intelligent. He knows when to push forward. He knows when to back up. He knows how to stick to a game plan, and he has very good conditioning. In his fight against JDS, we saw a side of him that I have not seen, that I never thought he had. He was able to push Junior Dos Santos against the cage and lean on him for a long time, and that really weared JDS down. Of course, JDS ended up beating him in that fight, but that is a skill, a very important skill to have against a man like Alistair Overeem, who loves to play that distance game right now. I don't know. This one is a very difficult one for me because both guys, they really, none of them really stands out to me as a better fighter. I wouldn't say Alistair Overeem is clearly the better fighter, and I wouldn't say Stipe Miocic is clearly the better fighter. This is literally going to depend on who plays the game better, on who understands what's really about to happen. First of all, 5-round fight. It's a 5-round fight. Every single time you have a situation where there's a possibility you will go 5 rounds, it's always very brilliant to watch your stamina. You absolutely have to watch your conditioning, because if you do not, you run into some troubles. It doesn't matter how good of a striker you are. It doesn't matter how good of a grappler or a wrestler or whatever you are. If you don't have the gas tank to move your muscles and move your fist and move your leg and move your head and defend yourself and fight, if you don't have the fuel feeding you to do that, you're a sitting duck. You might as well be a punching bag. And these two men need to understand that this is a title fight. This is 5 rounds. It is possible they will go 5 rounds. And when the fight starts off, they need to be very, very careful not to blow their wad early on. For Alistair Overeem, he needs to do what he does best so far. He needs to keep his distance. Keep your distance. I believe Stipe might try to back him up. That is a possibility. You need to get these feet moving. Get your feet moving. Back up. Cut angles. Land accurate shots. Use your oblique kick. Use your front leg side kick. Use your jab. Use your leg kicks. Use your body kicks. Switch your stance like you normally do to confuse guys. Because what happens is, when he's in the conventional stance, they think they have a strike. He switches his stance. He confuses them. The strike they thought they had in the conventional stance is no longer available, and now they have to reset. Your brain resets. You have to find a new strike. So for Overeem to keep switching his stance back and forth like that, that's going to make Stipe and Miocic hesitate. For Stipe, don't hesitate. Do not fall into that. If you're moving forward, move forward with the purpose of doing damage. I'm not saying blow your wad and just throw reckless strikes out there, but try to lean on Alistair. Try to tire him out. The more tired Overeem is, the slower he's going to get, the less power he's going to get, the more mistakes he's going to make, the more he's going to drop his hands, the less he's going to move his head, and the more he can catch him. I think Stipe should try to grapple. I really believe he should try to turn this fight into a grappling match. That's not saying that Overeem is a noob on the ground. He absolutely is not. The man is a very good grappler, but I think Stipe has more conditioning, and I think if this turns into a grappling match, I think it's going to favor the man with the better conditioning. So, who do I think is going to win this fight? Honestly, like every other fight, my answer is always going to be the same. The smarter man is going to win. The smarter man is going to win. The man who keeps it simple is going to win. That's the way it always is. You keep things simple. You do only what you need to do. You conserve your stamina. You conserve your conditioning, your energy. You win the fight. I think at this point in their career, I think Alistair has grown up a lot more. I think he is the smarter man in there. I really believe he is going to make better decisions in the cage. I think he's going to play the distance game a little better than Stipe. I don't think that he's going to let Stipe crowd him as much as Stipe could. And I think that Alistair is going to find an opening. He's going to find a small opening. He's going to land something big that's going to rock Stipe, and I think he's going to end up finishing this fight somewhere in the 3rd round or maybe the 2nd round. I'm not sure. But I think this fight is going to end by TKO, Alistair Overeem becoming the next heavyweight champion. If this fight goes to a decision, Stipe Miocic is going to win. That's the way that I see it. I think if anyone finishes this fight, it's going to be Alistair. I know that's kind of weird, right? Like, I'm saying that right now, I'm thinking in my head, what the hell are you talking about? Like, Alistair is the one that's been getting knocked out. But I don't know. I really, really, really feel like the man has really grown. He has really grown in himself. That sounds weird, but I feel like he really understands how he's supposed to be fighting to remain safe in there while also doing a lot of damage. I think he's going to find a clean opening. He will land something big. He's going to rock Stipe. And I think he's going to finish this fight. And we're going to have a new champion. At least that's what I hope happens. Because I am a big fan of Alistair Overeem at this point. But either way, it doesn't matter who wins. This is going to be a good fight. This is going to be a learning experience for either guy. Stipe is going to learn what it feels like to fight a man who really, really uses his distance, manages his range a lot well. And Alistair is going to get a taste of a new breed of fighter, a guy who has great conditioning, a guy who has some pretty slick boxing in there, a man who is going to push forward and not get tired. Because that's usually what happens. You push forward, you get tired, but I don't think Stipe is going to be that guy. So, really looking forward to this fight. I cannot wait to see who wins this fight. Let me know in the comment section what your prediction is. Do you think Alistair can pull this off? Do you think he can pull this off and become the heavyweight champion? Oh my goodness, it has been long overdue. The man needs that belt. I cannot wait to see if he can do it. Or do you think Stipe is going to go out there and prove that he is the true champion? Doesn't matter who wins. I cannot wait to see this fight, and I cannot wait to see what you guys say in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Be safe, and as always, have a great day.